Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, here we go again. LeBron James plays the character, right? LeBron James plays the character. Ain't that what you guys want? Ain't that what his fans want? Isn't that what the NBA wants? For LeBron James to play the character. The character that LeBron James has been playing for a long time, right? Thinking everything is funny, thinking everything is a joke. If he can't be the best, he's going to make a mockery out of being the best, right? That's what he's going to do. And at some point, like I made a video the other day, we got to ask ourselves, why did they choose this guy to make a mockery out of NBA history? I'm being serious. There's no other sport that I know of yet that has a player, that has had a player come along and supposedly been one of the greatest of all times and made a mockery out of the sport after failing, losing, choking, cheating, doing it the wrong way, and still gets boosted up to the top as a 1 or 2 player of all time? Wow! A mockery out of the game. That's crazy. That's crazy. Just think about, this guy has to be the first one to ever pregame come out the locker room like it's a damn Soul Train dance line. Seriously, he's got to be the first one. I don't remember this. He's the first one to ever do it. He's got to be. And then he does it. Well, he did it. He probably still does it. But he did it for years when his opponents were getting crushed. He was over there dancing, flexing, not only coming out the tunnel pregame, but when he was crushing the opponent because he seemed to load his teams and get the guys he always wanted, which is another question most people have to ask. Why only him throughout all the years have been able to pick out his own teams, guy by guy, high level players? Even in Cleveland the first time, folks, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. He was supposed to take those guys and take them over the top. We remember, well, I just seen the other day, Sports and Fitness Ranch did a video of a lot of no-name guys on Michael Jordan's team that you would never know their names if they would not have won 1, 2, 3, 4 championships with him. I don't think anybody won 4 except for Scottie Pippen. But he was just listing off these names, and he made a bunch of nobodies champions. And if you want to be real, all of them are no names. He just read off the guys who, I don't know what he was reading off. I think he was reading off some names you never heard before. But in reality, a lot of them were no names. Scottie Pippen is a no name. Is a no name. Who was Scottie Pippen before Michael Jordan? Nothing. Horace Grant, nothing. Hell, Horace Grant was, I think, I won't say he was a big star, but at least he went to Clemson, if I ain't mistaken. So this was LeBron James' duty to make guys greater, right? Magic Johnson. We look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is great. And I'm not going to I see some people put Magic in front of Kareem. I can't do that. I just can't do that. We see what Kareem was doing. Yeah, if you want to base it on championships, yeah, that's a whole different resume. I mean, but I can't do that. I'm talking about on-court basketball player. And Magic is great. He's up there, whatever like that. But he's not better than Kareem. He's not better. No way. Blocks, rebounds, defense, points, no damn way. Now, it takes a team to win. Yes. That's why the Boston Celtics won all those championships. They didn't win because they had like one standout star player. No matter what people say about Bill Russell was not, to me, above and beyond all those guys. When you have, Bill Russell and then 2 other guys, and sometimes 3 going to the All-Star game, and 2 other guys always being all NBA with Bill Russell, what does that tell you? If Bill Russell wasn't an offensive force. So to me, no insult against Bill Russell, but let's just say Dennis Rodman maybe was a poor man's Bill Russell. Well, let's just say Dwight Howard maybe. Poor man's Bill Russell. Because why I say poor man is because both of them, Dennis Rodman or Dwight Howard, could never be leaders. They don't have that in them. They don't have the heart of men. They just don't. Great players, but you need a heart to do something like that. And Bill Russell had that. But as far as Kareem, yeah, I got him number 3 behind Will. Right? To me, it's more than just championships. And if we keep saying that narrative about, and I heard people say this, they want to put, Magic number 2 because he came in there and he just put Kareem over the top. And he did. That's great. But it was other Hall of Famers on that team besides Kareem. It wasn't just Magic came along and he was the only future Hall of Famer with Kareem. No, it was other guys. And we saw the guys that they got over the years. Those teams were loaded. If it was just Kareem and Magic, like it was Jordan and Pippen, basically, okay, I could understand. It was never like that. It was always Kareem and then another Hall of Famer. And then sometimes Kareem, always Kareem, Magic, and another Hall of Famer in his prime. And then a lot of times it was Kareem, Magic, another Hall of Famer, and then another Hall of Famer out of his prime. So, I mean, that team was loaded. At one point, it was, I want to say 4 to 5 Hall of Famers on the Lakers. So again, if you're just saying yes, it's just those 2, it's sometimes 3, maybe. But no, it wasn't never like that. It was never like that. And nevertheless, it was LeBron James' duty to even do something that Magic did, because even though Kareem was already on that team, Magic came along, he put the team over the top. And plus, let's just say Kareem would have just played with Worthy. Maybe they would not have won nothing. Same thing with, look, LeBron James just couldn't do it. He had the chance to either put good guys over the top. Those teams were loaded. You talk about Antoine Jameson, Ben Wallace, and Shaq on one damn team, and Wally Zerbiak. What else do you want? No, I don't think. Was Ben Wallace still on the team? Those teams were loaded. Elgauskas was on it. I don't even know what this guy really wanted. He should have made those guys champions. I'm talking Boobie Gibson was on there. Those teams were pretty loaded. But it never happened. He got his super teams. He couldn't take. Imagine this. This could be like a headline too, right? We could never hear the end of this. If they went 4-0 in Miami like they were supposed to, he didn't play those super teams in Miami. Remember, they always, he got to play Golden State super team. He didn't play in the first 2 years, and he won one time against that non-super team, and he lost against the non-super team another time. But the point is, he didn't play no super teams in Miami, okay? But yet came out 2-2 in Miami. Never. We always say this. LeBron James never played a super team. Let me break it down to you one more time. If you never heard this, I'll try to make it quick. When he played the Spurs in 2007, guys came together from the draft. What constitutes a super team? 3 players from another team that was other teams' number 1 draft picks who are future Hall of Famers. You understand? Future Hall of Famers who were number 1 draft picks and franchise players of another team. 3 of them, right? So we know Kevin Love, Kyrie, and LeBron James were all that. Other teams' number 1 franchise players and leaders of another team. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James. That's a super team. Just like the big 3 Celtics in 2008, yes. They were an old super team. Now, there's a difference. An old beat-up super team, like the Boston Celtics. I'm not trying to say they weren't a super team, but they were so super, right? That they only won 1 championship, barely beat LeBron James in 2007. They got beat by, Orlando in 2009. And they were together like 6-7 years, only won 1 championship. That's it. No MVPs. No MVPs together. They kind of like, somewhat like the super team in, Houston with Clyde Drexler and Elijah Wan and Charles Barkley. And then you had, I think, Clyde Drexler retired, and then Scottie Pippen came onto that super team. Those teams did nothing. Well, I wouldn't say nothing, but they weren't no match. They weren't no match for young legs. Put it that way. And Utah weren't even young legs, really. They just beat them fundamentally. And then I think they got beat 1 year by the Kobe Shaq Lakers. So you see what happens when old super teams come together. This is kind of why LeBron James. No, I won't say that. I'll leave that alone. But yeah, those were super teams. But they were old super teams. Were they winning MVPs? Those super teams? in Houston and Boston. No, they weren't winning MVPs because they was old, beat up, broke up. They weren't making the finals because they was old, beat up, bro. And a lot of times, let me say this: when you put those super teams together now, you don't really have no leadership because that's hard to imagine because all these guys were leaders of a team before they got together. But now you're trying to find out who is the real leader. That's why I always say, if you do win a championship, guess what? Who's the leader? Who led the team to a championship? Nobody. So okay, yeah, Paul Pierce won the MVP in 2008. But did he really lead that team to a championship? No. He didn't. Paul Pierce didn't do it. Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, they all led each other. They were amongst the leaders that led the team to a championship. Just like LeBron James, when he won a championship, well, 2 in Miami and 1 in, Cleveland, and then to me, 1 in LA. He didn't lead his team to a championship. He can't. Those other guys, Kyrie, Love, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, AD, and you can even say Dwight Howard, were all leaders of another team, all franchise players of another team, right? So LeBron James, in all his championships, has just been amongst the leaders that won a championship for that team. He didn't lead any team to a championship by himself. He didn't. Sorry. Them guys didn't come out of the draft and that was his team. No. He was amongst the other leaders. The other 2 leaders, whatever. So he never played a super team because 07 Spurs drafted. 2011, where's the super team? Are you going to say Jason Kidd, a bench player? No, there's not 3 guys on one team who were franchise players of another team. And Jason Kidd was a bench player. What 2011 or 12? No, all those guys were drafted, and we already know what James Harden was coming off the bench. And those guys were all drafted. What about 2013? Nope. We already talked about the Spurs. 14? Nope. All these guys drafted. 2015? Nope. The Warriors were drafted. 2016? The Warriors were drafted. 2017. And that's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets really tricky right there, because you even had a lot of guys who, don't like LeBron James, will call this team a super team. The Warriors, 17-18, they will call that a super team. There wasn't no super team. Again, you have to have 3 number 1s on a team. Clay and Draymond Green don't constitute a super team. What team have they ever led? What team has Draymond Green and Clay ever led? No team. So Kevin Durant and Steph Curry as number 1 franchise players of other teams, that ain't no super team. You've been lied to, folks. They're just 2 great players. They're just 2 great players. We already told you what super teams were. Whether they were young or they were old, and that makes a difference. But yes, I'm not trying to say they're not super teams, whether they're old or young, but I'm just saying LeBron James has never faced a super team. In fact, 11, 12, 13, 14, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What is that, 7 years or 6 years? That the NBA or his finals opponents had to face a super team. That's crazy. So basically, besides a prayer in a Hail Mary, that's the only way LeBron James could either get to the finals or win the finals. Yes, he got there in 2007 by a prayer in a Hail Mary. But other than that, the only way this guy could get to the finals was by a super team, or win by a super team. And that's barely. Again, this is supposed to be an incredible duo, right? If you put Flash, remember, he's got a real He's got a real basketball name, right? Not the King, because it goes with his basketball game. We told you about that before. These fools these days got these non-associated basketball names. The Ant-Man. What does that got to do with your game? SGA? What's that got to do with your game? I know that's what we would call somebody by abbreviation. I'm talking about a basketball game. What does that got to do with your game? Magic Johnson, Air Jordan, the mailman, all these people. We had these nicknames. The answer had to do with your game. What that got to do with your game? So just that dynamic by itself is incredible. People don't realize how crazy that is. Dwayne Wade in his prime with LeBron James, that in itself is crazy. If LeBron James was that dude, if he was that Magic Johnson type of dude, if he was that scorer type of dude, with Dwayne Wade's quickness, mid-range ability, defense, slashing, everything else, that's all he should need. And some complementary players. He shouldn't need Chris Bosh on top of that. Because a lot of guys were already on that Miami team. That's all he needed to win 4 straight. If he would have upheld his end of the bargain, that's all he would have needed. Okay? But instead, he did it. Dwayne Wade was supposed to be a complementary player on a high level. But he couldn't be, because LeBron James wasn't playing on a damn high level. So it was confusing a lot of stuff with Dwayne Wade. When Dwayne Wade got to play with Kobe in the Olympics, he took the hell off. He went crazy. When he got to play with Shaq, he went the hell off and went crazy. You play with LeBron James, the whole thing is fucked up. Now let's talk about this guy's foot. Really? Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? People really going to promote this? This is what this guy's foot looks like? You can't be serious. If this guy's foot that he put out there really looked like this, and it's been like this, and he's been playing basketball like this, you think he could really play basketball? Do you even think he could walk around? No, folks. He's trying to be funny. And like I said, since he can't be a winner, since he can't be up there with those guys, he has chosen to be funny, destroy the NBA. And there's nothing wrong with being funny, being comical. But I think this thing has went too far. Just say you ain't got it like the other dudes in the past. Whether it's LeBron James, his era, the 2020s, just admit it. Y'all motherfuckers ain't got it like the guys in the past. You don't play defense. You ain't playing you ain't playing positional basketball. You're deaky as hell, most of you guys. You just ain't there. Nobody wants to watch you. Just call for what it is. And then play these little comical games, these little girly comical games. And that's it. That's it, folks. But don't act like it's something else than what it is. Oh, we just better. We can do this. We can do that. Saying all this comical stuff. Because what you're doing is you're destroying your own game. You ain't helping it. You're destroying your own game. Now Greek Freak is saying, oh, he want to work out with the older players like Carmelo Anthony, and that he likes working out with older players instead of the players that's playing now. He said he'd rather work out with LeBron James also, but LeBron James is playing right now. And he said he'll see him in a couple months when the season starts. And I'm thinking, you want to work out with LeBron James? For what? What the heck? Are you trying to be funny? You want to work? What are you going to get out of that? Just think if LeBron James wasn't in the league, Giannis, how greater you will be, because the standard of the NBA has been lowered so low that guys like you can only get up to a certain clip. And one of the clips is, we already know this. Anybody with any kind of brain cell that wants to use it, and the only thing that can prove me wrong is I got to see it. Ain't nobody winning 2 championships that already won 1 championship. I just don't think it's going to happen. So the Jokers, the Giannis, who else? Tatum, SGA. If you won a championship in the 2020s, or you going for another championship while LeBron James is still playing, it's not going to happen. That shit's already signed, sealed, delivered. I don't care about the odds on who is it? OKC this year. It's not going to happen. For one, you already know Chet Holmgren, he about to go down with a damn injury. That's it. As soon as he go down with an injury, you can wrap that up. I don't know who's going to win it. It might be somebody out the East. But it damn sure ain't going to be anybody who already won it. It ain't. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, the Timberwolves. They want to go ahead and get Anthony Edwards going as this next fake Michael Jordan, right? So I won't be surprised. Nevertheless, it's not going to be anybody who already won it. As long as LeBron James is playing, because it will make him look crazy. You had this player, SGA, Joker, Tatum, whatever. I don't think Tatum's going to be playing. Win 2 championships in the 2020s, so it ain't going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron James wins another one with Luka. Luka is due for a championship. So, just saying, with Giannis, now you starting to say stupid stuff. You want to work out with Carmelo Anthony for what? He don't play defense. All the hell he does is shoot. So what is he really going to teach you? Yes, he's one of the greatest shooters of all time, but what is he going to show you? So now you think after all these years, you're going to be this shooter like Carmelo Anthony? See, these guys are so full of it, bro. They just come out and say stupid stuff for no reason. So yeah, ain't nothing wrong with this guy's foot. Either he's not going to play because he don't want to play, and he already got his contract, or he's just bullcrapping. Or he's just bullcrapping like always. So let's look at this. LeBron James, only 2 statistical titles in 23 years. Do you believe that? This is supposed to be a dominant player and an all-around player. To me, I would consider more of an all-around player a guy who has I would say 3 statistical titles in 3 different statistic categories. Or if you had it in 2 different ones multiple times, right? That would be an all-around player. So say if you got my fault, rebound, say if you got steals title in, I don't know, assist titles, to me that's an all-around player. But you did it multiple times, not just you got assist title in a steals title, 1 each. Nah, hell no. But if you did it multiple times, yes. And to me, to at least show that you were a little dominant at blocks, assists, rebounds, steals, stuff like that, scoring, you would at least have to have at least twice scoring, maybe you twice assists, twice rebounding, but you only did it 1 time. No, that's not dominant. So look at Oscar Robertson, 6-time assist leader. And they try to say LeBron James is what? Magic Johnson type of dude. Oscar Robertson led the league in assists 6 times. And we already know Oscar Robertson was the first, well, I wouldn't say the first, but he's known as one of the greatest all-around players. He's got everything to show it. What about George Mikan? Led the league 3 times in scoring. That's why I said, if you're a dominant scorer, you ain't going to lead the league 1 time in scoring. George Mikan did it 3 times and led the league in rebounding. Who would this be? So this is what's this guy's name? Ben Wallace. Defensive Player of the Year 4 times. Goodness God. 2-time rebound leader and 1-time block leader. Yeah. Spurs. David Robinson. Defensive Player of the Year 1 time. Scoring leader 1 time. Rebound leader 1 time. And blocks leader 1 time. That's an all-around player, folks. Even though he only led the league 1 time in each statistical category, that's an all-around player. On a high level. And plus, we got to recognize the people he was actually going to the competition he was going up against to get these statistical titles, the rebound title, the scoring title, the blocks title. Wow. The greatest center competition of all time in the 90s. And I don't even think it's close. I don't even think it's close. Because a lot of these guys, like, you know, they were two-way players. They could play defense and score, these centers. So, what do we got here? We have Moses Malone led the league 6 times in rebounds. 6 times. Dennis Rodman, 7 times in rebounds. Who do we have here? Allen Iverson led the league 4 times in scoring, 3 times in steals. Who is this? Oh, the Dwight Howard. Oh, yeah. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time rebound leader, 2-time blocks leader. This is who LeBron James played with twice. Twice. And guess what? This guy beat LeBron James. Beat the hell out of him. What about Russell Westbrook? 3-time scoring champ, 2-time assist leader. Curry, 2-time scoring champion and 1-time steals leader. Chris Paul, 6-time steals leader, 5-time assist leader. And I think, let me see. And these dudes, most of them dudes ain't even supposed to be on LeBron James' level. That's what I'm trying to say. What about John Stockton? 9-time steals leader. Wow, you couldn't even dribble in front of that dude. He'd take your candy. 2-time steals leader. Hold on, no, my fault. 9 times assist leader, 2-time steals leader. But we know, I think he's the all-time steals leader. That's what John Stockton did. Okay? These things weren't no game back then. And then we know about, even Durant. I think he led the league in scoring like 4 or 5 times. There's some guys that are missing. But even if you didn't lead the league in a stat category, right? We take Larry Bird. He was still getting you 10 rebounds a game. So it wasn't like, what was it getting you? 27, 28 points and getting you 10 rebounds a game. So he was still playing at a high level. Joker, right? Those statistical categories, he ever won, but he's still playing at that high level, giving you 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 28 points, 29 points. So he's right there. Kobe Bryant, okay. He didn't even get away from Shaq until He played with Shaq 8 seasons. That's crazy. As soon as he left Shaq, he's winning back-to-back scoring titles. And then now you're competing with people like Kevin Durant and come out all these guys who do nothing but score. They don't play any defense. So why even try to, win a scoring title? Might as well just try to win championships. I ain't trying to say Kobe wasn't scoring on a high level, but by the time he started winning championships without Shaq, he wasn't really concerned about, leading the league in scoring like these other guys who weren't even competing for championships at the time. But people might say, oh, well, look at LeBron James, man. He had to play against Kevin Durant. He wins scoring titles. I'm not trying to say that. But at the same time, LeBron James, he could at least got you 10 rebounds. If we got to hear about this, this Magic Johnson type of guy, and he's a great passer, where's it at? He led the league in assists when everybody was sick, dying. Oh, let's don't forget about Hakeem, too. Led the league in, I think, like 5 or 6 times in statistical categories. The Magic Johnson type of dude. You can't even average 9 assists for your career, so you can solidify that and say, yeah, Magic Johnson type, even though 10 assists a game is an insult to Magic Johnson. That's an insult. 10 assists? That's it? Bro, more than 11, I would say 11 plus is upper echelon. 10 is just going to get you great. That range, right? 8 to 9. 9 to 10. To me, you would be considered a great passer. That 7 to 8, that's good, but it's not great. So he's nowhere near that. He's nowhere near. We saw Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, John Stockton, Bob Cousy, Magic Johnson, Mark Jackson. These guys coming down and really running the offense. We never seen that with LeBron James. He's a good passer at best. But when shit is on the line, he don't make these incredible passes in the last 2 minutes where he run the offense, shaking and baking and doing all this stuff that Magic and, all these great passes did back in the day. No, he becomes a scorer. That's it. So again, we talk about this guy, 7 assists. That's not even close to being consistent as far as, somebody trying to get an assist title. 7 rebounds, you got to be choking. That's never going to get you close to get a rebound title. In 27 points? No, that's not upper echelon scoring, folks. It's not. We already know what the upper echelon is. We already know. It's Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. Whoever can reach that, go ahead. And y'all shoot all these threes. Y'all should be killing it. Y'all should be killing it. But they can't. They won't never get to that in this era because they don't have an all-around game. You need to have an all-around game, or you just need to be dominant to get where Will and Michael Jordan got. So this is why LeBron James only has 1 scoring title. And, we already know about the obvious, right? These all-time greats, we already know about that. When we talk about, the all-time greats, to me, that's in my top 5 with these statistical titles. We got Bill Russell, 4 rebound titles. We already know he's going to have 5 block titles, 4 or 5 defensive players of the year. So, Kareem, 4 block titles, and he probably would have had about 6, but they didn't count in his first few years. And he was averaging more blocks his first few years. 4 block titles, 1 rebound title, and 2 scoring titles. That sounds like an all-around player to me. Who is this? Magic Johnson. 2 steals titles, 4 assist titles. One of the greatest all-around players. Michael Jordan, 10 scoring titles, 3 steals titles, and won Defensive Player of the Year. And we already know maybe Kareem would have had Defensive Player of the Year if they would have had it at the time. Another dude, Jerry West, maybe would have had, I think he only got one scoring title. He had it late in his career. But he probably would have had about 4 or 5 steals titles if that was around back then. So Jerry West, another great all-around player. And then the greatest all-around player of all time, Wilt Chamberlain, 7 scoring titles, 11 rebound titles, and 1 assist title. Yes, Wilt Chamberlain, the greatest, and he probably would have had about 5 block titles, 4 or 5 defensive player of the year. So Wilt Chamberlain, the greatest all-around player of all time. And I don't even think anybody's even close. See, they will call, Joker a great all-around player, the best all-around player of all time. Yes, he's a great all-around player, but not even in the same class with Wilt Chamberlain. Not even in the same class. They ain't even drinking the same damn wine. Wilt Chamberlain, he's drinking like a wine that costs about $50,000. And your boy Joker is drinking Boom's wine. It's not even close. Hey, don't blame us. This is what LeBron James made for the Joker era. Remember, these guys, they're not opposed to this. They don't clap back at not wanting to be part of this trash that LeBron James has created. So that's on Joker. He's a 3-time MVP, and he can't even be the face of the league. What does that tell you? You telling me Larry Bird ain't the face of the league? And he won 3 MVPs? Well, he's the face with Magic. But this is what LeBron James creates. And this is when the media has turned into welfare workers. This is what happens. This is what happens. This is what you get. You get a game that has become a laughingstock of the whole world. That's what you get. Because this is the route they had chosen to make a laughingstock out of the NBA. Because, LeBron James and this era guys couldn't make it happen. So let me get off of here, man. That's all I'm going to say about this. I thought I had something else to say too, but that's it. LeBron James, he destroyed the NBA because he couldn't get up there. In the 2020s, guys, you got to feel sorry for him, man, because they have never had a chance to do what they wanted for their era.